time to stand down. It's time to make another phone call to Greg Abbott. This time, instead of calling him and telling him you're quote unquote entitled to 5 congressional seats, it's time to tell him to stand down. It's time to recognize that democracy is at risk. It's time to, dare I say, do the right thing. Actually see how that feels for you, doing the right thing. If you don't, California will neutralize anything you do in the state of Texas. California will continue to punch above its weight. We believe in democracy. We believe in the enduring values of our founding fathers. 249 years. We're not going to sit back passively. We're not going to sit back and watch you light democracy on fire. We will fight fire with fire.
Hello guys, welcome to my social commentary. My name is Ransom Joseph. California Governor Gavin Newsom held a press conference today addressing key issues facing the state and outlining his plans for the months ahead. From the economy and housing crisis to climate policy and public safety, Newsom touched on some of the most pressing challenges in California. He emphasized the need for urgent action on homelessness, expanding renewable energy, and improving public infrastructure. The governor also faced questions from reporters on controversial topics, including budget allocation, crime rates, and his stance on the recent national political debates.
What do you think about the Gavin Newsom thing today out in California? Let me update everybody on this just so we all understand that Gavin Newsom, which is the governor of California, he's having a rally today called Liberation Day. Liberation Day, anti-Trump. So ICE decides to show up and start making arrests at his rally. You cannot make this shit up. But let's talk about Liberation Day, because the only one that seems liberated is Gavin Newsom, as he's worth $25 million. And he just bought a $9 million mansion up in Northern California. Now, you tell me where he got the money from. And as I'm going through LLCs and playing games with taxes, I mean, this guy is as corrupt as you can get. But this is the one that has aspirations for becoming the president of the United States of America. Another one with a good-looking face and a pretty smile, just like that Mom Donnie over there in New York, just smiling and lying through his teeth of everything that he's going to do that it is impossible to do. But they'll keep telling you. And to my Democratic brothers and sisters, when are you going to wake up that they continue to lie to you and lie to you and lie to you again? And they'll tell you that the Republicans are bad, and they'll tell you that the Republicans are brainwashed, and they'll tell you that we're stuck to the hip with Donald Trump, and I'm going to tell you that we're not. Donald Trump doesn't deliver what his promises are. We will call him out, and we will denounce that shit. Did you guys do that for Joe Biden? Did you guys do that for Kamala Harris? Or did you just continue to listen when they told you, just don't worry about, listen to what I'm going to tell you, do what I tell you to do, and you just guys fucking followed like little sheep. Bah, bah. I'm telling you that you're wolves. Wake up. Get a backbone. Gavin Newsom, bad guy. He's a thief. He stole. He took, corroborated, let the bad criminals get away. California dreaming for all. First-time home buyers have an opportunity to buy a property in California. First qualification, you must be an illegal immigrant. That's the guy for you. That's the guy that's looking out for the Californians. It's disgusting, it's atrocity. The only one that's being liberated is Governor Newsom. That's the only one that's being liberated. For the rest of you, as long as you follow in line and listen to what he's telling you to do, you'll be okay. But the second that you fight the system, they'll turn on you just like that. Woo!
Gavin Newsom has confirmed that he will be gerrymandering California. And this is one of the few instances in which I'm actually glad he's doing that. Obviously, gerrymandering is bad and it is literally taking votes away from the people. But Texas did it first, or Texas said they were going to do it first. So if you haven't been caught up on the story, Mochi, chill. If you have not been caught up on the story, what's going on here is Trump directly told the governing bodies in Texas that they should gerrymander the state to pick up 5 seats in the midterms. Just blatantly said exactly that. not even beating around the bush. They didn't even pretend to be secretive about it or keep it under the rug. They were blatantly going to steal votes from Democrats in Texas, and they didn't give a fuck. Didn't care. So a couple states, including most notably California, said that they would in turn retaliate and gerrymander blue states to get more blue seats to offset the red ones being stolen in Texas. And, through all those conversations, you never really know, like, are they actually going to do this? Are they talking big game and they don't plan on doing it? But we got confirmation via Twitter from Gavin Newsom, said they are going to push forward into the next steps of gerrymandering the state in retaliation to what Texas did. Now, something else that was kind of cool about that is he released this information on Twitter, right? And the way that he did this tweet, he laid it out in a way and spoke in a way that was making fun of Trump. Like if the words were twisted slightly to be in Republicans' favor rather than in the Democrats' favor, it would sound like a Trump tweet. He's calling it they were doing these beautiful redistrictings, and he was typing in all caps, and he was just talking in like these Trump mannerisms, making fun of him in a way that was honestly really, really cool. I'll attach a screenshot of it here. Give you a moment to read that if you'd like. Feel free to pause. Now it's gone. But my point is, he kind of took the time to make fun of Trump while, fucking they're already on top. The Democrats are going to pick up more seats because the Republicans were willing to do some bullshit, and Democrats are finally fighting back, which is a good thing. So hope this helps. Got any questions?
Today is Liberation Day in the state of California. And as Senator Schiff said, Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back. And here we are, an open and plain sight before one vote is cast in the 2026 midterm election. And here he is once again trying to rig the system. He doesn't play by a different set of rules. He doesn't believe in the rules. And as a consequence, we need to disabuse ourselves of the way things have been done. It's not good enough to just hold hands, have a candlelight vigil, and talk about the way the world should be. We have got to recognize the cards that have been dealt. And we have got to meet fire with fire. And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. We're doing it in reaction to that act. We're doing it mindful of our higher angels and better angels. We're doing it mindful that we want to model better behavior, as we've been doing for 15 years in the state of California with our independent redistricting commission. But we cannot unilaterally disarm. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district all across this country, not just in Texas, but in Missouri, where J.D. Vance went just a week ago, in Indiana, in places like Ohio, in places like Florida. We need to stand up, not just California. Other blue states need to stand up. We need to be firm in our resolve. We need to put...
He said he was going to do it, and he did it. Daddy Newsom did it. He announced today that it is officially official that we in California, we the people of California, are holding a special election on November 4th to redistrict California mid-decade, also known as gerrymandering. But here's the thing. We now have 2.5 months. We have 2.5 months to get the word out to California that there will be a special election on November 4th, and we need to vote yes to the mid-decade redistricting so we can pick up 7 more Democratic seats in Congress to go against what those motherfuckers Abbott and Trump are doing right now in Texas, okay? He said he was gonna do it, and he did it. And I really hope other Democratic governors are gonna follow suit and do what he's doing. But for now, he's doing it. And the best part is I am in California, and I am fucking ready. I am ready to do whatever I have to do for the next 2.5 months, whether it is literally door-to-door knocking to let people know that this election is coming up and to vote yes on it. So if anybody has an idea, I'm gonna do some research tonight on how I can get involved. But if anybody already knows how to get involved in this campaign and in what's happening in California, please let me know, because this is my opportunity to really put boots on the ground in something that's happening in my own state. Don't worry, I'm still going to pick back up on those Senate ones. I just have a lot going on this month, but he said he was going to do it, and he fucking did it. He's standing on business, and that's why I love Daddy Newsom. But anyway, if you're in California, there is a special election coming up November 4th. We need to vote yes. Let anybody you know that live in California know this, okay? We need to be screaming it from the fucking rooftop.
In the biggest game of monkey see, monkey do I've ever seen, Gavin Newsom has announced a new act regarding redistricting and voting. On August 14th, Gavin Newsom has now proposed a new bill called the Election Rigging Response Act. And pretty much it's a constitutional amendment to his state of California that he's asking voters to vote on in the November special elections. Pretty much mimicking and copying and retaliating for something that was done in an entirely different state of Texas. However, although it was an entirely different state, the act done by Texas is expected to add 5 additional congressional seats to the Republican side. So basically, Gavin Newsom's act would be a balancing act to balance out where the 5 Republican seats being added in hopes that the 5 Democratic seats would then be added through his state. In addition, it would have this be through 2020 or 2030, excuse me, if his state and his voters agree to vote on that. However, this is met with some dispute and opposition. Former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger vehemently opposes it, and many Republicans in the state does, because they said that it takes away from the independence in the 2010 initial voting for the districts in the state, and it would also limit Republican voters in their state. California lawmakers will have to pass this by August 22nd with a 2/3 vote before it can make it on the special election ballot in November. All in all, he's trying to help balance it out for his party, as well as I think he's trying to do this so he can look like a leader for 2028, because, hey, right now it's looking like AOC. So go ahead, Gavin. Do your thing.
Oh, Gavin Newsom, what are you doing now? He just declared Liberation Day in California, mocking President Trump and promising to redraw maps to help Democrats win Congress. But here's the part he's not telling you. Y'all like the video right here. Follow for more updates, and let's jump into it. So this is part of a coast-to-coast redistricting battle in Texas. Governor Abbott added 5 new Republican seats, and now Newsom says California will add 5 seats to cancel it out. Critics are calling it Gavin mandering. That's a real thing. Pure political manipulation. The legislature is on recess, yet they've expected to return and crank out maps in just 5 days. No public hearings, no transparency. It's already done behind closed doors. Analysts say this isn't about fairness. It's about giving Newsom a springboard for his anti-Trump presidential campaign. And with mail-in ballots, ballot harvesting, and rushed map changes, opponents warn California voters are getting a rigged game before the first vote is even cast. This isn't liberation. This is a one-party control tightening its grip. Trump's fighting to give Republicans more seats. Newsom's fighting to stop him. November's ballot will tell us if California voters see through the spin. Y'all like the video right here. Let me know what you think.
Guys, get yourself a governor that trolls Donald Trump as hard as California's Gavin Newsom, because he spent the last couple of days defying Trump and Greg Abbott, who is attempting to redistrict Texas, by the way, with threats of his own to redistrict California, which would give Democrats more seats. But what makes this entire thing so hilarious is that his tweets are a direct attempt to mock Trump's weird way of talking in all caps, along with a bunch of his tropes. If you haven't seen any of these yet, go on Twitter and check them out. They are absolute gold. I'm not going to post the entire exchange here, but basically after a few warning tweets, Gavin's office finishes off the exchange with this little gem. He says, Donald Taco Trump, as many call him, missed the deadline. California will now draw new, more beautiful maps. They will be historic as they will end the Trump presidency. Dems take back the House. Big press conference this week with powerful Dems and Gavin Newsom, your favorite governor. That will be devastating for MAGA. Thank you for your attention on the matter. Of course, I absolutely butchered the delivery. Listen, say what you want about California, but their governor is standing on business right now.
Welcome back. While supporters praise his vision, critics argue that this plan lacks urgency and concrete solution. This press conference marks a pivotal moment as Newsom continues to position himself as a strong voice, not just for California, but potentially for the national stage at large. Tell us what you think about this in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Gotcha.